what comes unexpectedly is a gift from God. What you chase in your mind is trouble. If you take one step toward grace, it will take 1,000 steps toward you. That self-healing is not about becoming someone new, but about removing what blocks our natural self. Hi, good morning, friends. I'm Sharmila from Malaysia, and let us start our Swadhyaya session. I've chosen the book called The Journey, written by Brandon Bays, and it is about how to heal your life and set your life free. According to the author, healing comes from feeling and not avoiding, and to discover beneath all the pain, we are already complete, whole, and perfect. This book guides us to do inner introspection of our emotion and physical pain at the core. Have you ever noticed sometimes you have body pain and feeling emotionally heavy but can't explain why, and nothing big is happening in the life right now, but feeling anxious, overwhelmed, trapped, and unable to perform to your best level? According to the author, simple feelings or complex feelings like chronic depression, overwhelming grief, abuse, or serious physical illnesses, no matter how bad your conditions are, it is possible for everyone to become completely free again. Let us see about Brandon Bays and her experiences. She was a master trainer. This was in 1992. She was then already a master trainer in personal development and wellness. She was a very health conscious person. She was vegetarian, she exercised daily, and she did a lot of inner work, removing her emotional baggages. She also did meditation. At that time, her life was on track. She was happy, she enjoyed her life, marriage, children, and she had successful career. And then one day she was diagnosed with a basketball-sized tumor in her uterus. She reflected that maybe she became overconfident over time, believing that it could never happen to her because she's doing everything right from what she has learned. Her experience teaches us that life does not always follow logic. 1 plus 1 is not always 2, but infinite. Even when we do everything right, we may still face illness or challenges because life is beyond our understanding, beyond our knowledge. All we can do is we do our best and leave the rest. At first, she started observing her tumor from within. It looked frightening, and she sensed fear. Suddenly, an old painful childhood memory flashed before her. Her long buried emotion started surface. She felt intensity of the emotion of the 4 years old girl. She was only 4 years old then, and she realized how intensely a 4 years old child also can feel the emotions. She acknowledged her real feelings. She cried and she released the emotions. And she put a little campfire in that memory, and she had a heart-to-heart conversation with her parents. She understood their pain and trauma. She made peace, forgave them, and now she had learned her lesson, what the trauma wanted to teach her, and the tumor had fulfilled its purpose. And after that, it started to reduce in size dramatically. She looked like 5 months pregnant at that time. Her stomach was very hardened. And slowly her stomach became soft like jelly. and she healed completely in 6 weeks. She also did intense 5 days silence, mauna, for emotional detox. She worked on her layers of emotion. When she felt helpless, restless, she just sat down and she looked into the emotion. What is it trying to tell her? Then she saw layers of emotion, deep loneliness, hopeless, overwhelmed, and at the end, she surrendered to absolute nothingness. And underneath, at the end, she felt and experienced peace and love, and she knew then that is the essence of a true self. She realized she is the love itself, radiating from inner fullness. Then, throughout that 5 days, she continued her daily activities naturally, without motive or efforts. She shifted from doing state to being state. As for me, after the November silence retreat, I couldn't comprehend what was happening with me. Once again, my strong rebellious tendency appeared. I was like, not this phase again. I refused to do anything like a stubborn kid. And after a few weeks, I understood my inner self was rebelling because without realizing, I was doing everything from the mind space at the state of doing and not at the state of being. I was doing everything for a reason by thinking from the mind thinking space, like a program robot. We can make plans, but when we are executing it, we must be completely in the present moment. Do everything effortlessly from the knowing heart space. Just being. Do everything without motive or effort. And to be in the mode of being, we must completely surrender in now, the present moment, and go with the flow with lots of awareness and clarity. Be brave without even worrying what's going to happen the next second. Only then we will be able to feel deep joy, childlike playfulness, and we'll feel much lighter and won't feel tired even after doing so much of work or feel bored of doing the same work daily. But if you are not in awareness, very fast we will be in our thinking mind space and lots of storytelling will happen. I feel so bored doing this every day. Why life is not interesting at all, and so on. Our mind is very creative. Don't fall for its nonsense chatting. That is not us. Now let us see Brandon Bay's life lessons. After the tumor recovery, Nancy lost her house in fire. She lost everything, had problems with tax department, and her bank accounts were frozen. On the same day, her daughter sent a letter to cut off their relationship. And her husband told her that he loved another woman and planning to marry her, and everything collapsed at once. Suddenly, her life stripped off everything she was attached to, guiding her back to the eternal love within and showing her how temporary everything else in her life. Though deeply shocked, especially after believing in a marriage, she had a beautiful marriage and had a very good relationship with her husband. They were like best friends. And her close bond with her daughter. Eventually, over time, she started to see all as a gift. And she stopped her resistance. She turned completely inward because there is nothing outside for her now. She discovered in surrender a presence of love. Filled the room. Also knew it to be who I am. Now she fully realized what real love was. After that, she remained present day by day to whatever emotions come and went in this vast ocean of love that was omnipresent. The love was always there when she wakes up, sleeping, eating, It will never leave her, and she will never leave it too. Nancy realized what comes unexpectedly is a gift from God. What you chase in your mind is trouble. Nancy's life teaches us a profound lesson. Before life gives us a powerful awakening like a tsunami, by suddenly taking away everything, our relationships, the things that we deeply attach to, our identities, career, finances, we better detach and reconnect with the eternal love in ourselves. Otherwise, when it all happens at once, the pain can be very overwhelming and unbearable. Brandon, she studied Dr. Deepak Chopra's teachings. And one day in the mastery training, Dr. Deepak was sharing about cellular level healing. And he found two things in common in successful survivors. One, they were able to get into the gap, get in touch with inner intelligence and wisdom. Two, they were able to let go emotions of memories stored at the cellular level. According to Dr. Deepak, not just from scientific theory, it was a demonstrable fact. How quickly our body can regenerate itself. Liver cells in just 6 weeks, skin cells 3 to 4 weeks, new stomach lining in just 4 days, and eye cells every 2 days. It sounds impossible, right? The author's mom had an eye operation. They slit open the front part of her eye, inserted new lens. In 2 days, a mother's eyes had perfectly healed. She could see. Have you wondered if the cell could regenerate so fast? Why is that if you have liver cancer in January, you still have liver cancer in June? According to Dr. Deepak, he calls this as phantom memories. All the old memories in the body eventually cause degenerative disease patterns within the cells. And before a disease cell dies, it passes its memory onto the next new cell being born. So the disease pattern continuously present in the body unless we are able to release the wounded emotions stored in the cell. Have you experienced a moment of complete silence, a complete stillness? Time stops, mind goes quiet, feels like everything and everyone stops. Absolute silence, like watching a football game in the moment of suspense, seeing if the ball hits the goal or not. This kind of moment. This is what Dr. Deepak was telling us about tapping into the gap, the stillness. Now let us look into the case study. Brandon Bay, what she did after she experimented with herself and it worked. After that, she started sharing. Nancy is the first case study that she did. Nancy, she felt intense jealousy for no reason. And then Brandon guided her, and Nancy observed of layers of emotions. It starts from jealousy, it goes to anger, and then full-blown rage, deep hurt, and abandonment. And at that layer of abandonment, her childhood memory flashed. Her sister and her best friend left her alone at the beach and they went and played together. At that moment, she felt lost and abandoned. And what Nancy did in that memory, she expressed all her emotions. She questioned her sister why she did that to her. And she got clarity. Her sister just went off to play. It wasn't to abandon her. And she forgave her sister. And the betrayal didn't happen. She imagined it and she was holding it in her. And when she finally surrendered into the black hole of nothingness, and she felt a deep joy, peace, and love. And after that, she wrote a letter from future self to her present self. guidance for emotion and relationships if the same issue arises. One of Brandon's spiritual teacher told her, if you take one step toward grace, it will take 1,000 steps toward you. So when you want to help yourself, you know, the whole universe will help you. And another case study, after that, Brandon did sharing this self-healing method to everyone. And it was all successful. It was done successfully. And she had a compile, she did workshops and so on. So let us see this case study. It is about Jim. He was 67 years old and he had very serious anger issues. And also he had a serious cancerous cancerous tumor in his lungs. And during the emotion inner work, oh sorry, during the emotion inner work, he saw a memory from wartime in England at the age of 16. He couldn't accept the sudden death of his mother. He carried intense anger towards God and Nazi soldiers. And he did a similar process and he got clarity, he forgiven them. And after that, his deep anger dissolved. His lifelong rage disappeared and he became a very gentle and kind person. His wife said, I finally have the man I knew was there when I married him 45 years ago. And another case study is Rachel, 32 years old. She was diagnosed with chronic depression. She was adopted around the age of 2. And she experienced repeated sexual and physical abuse during her childhood. At first, at the age of 11, she saw the therapist. Since then, she was struggling with severe mental health issues. She attended psychiatric hospitals due to stress, breakdowns, and she had several attempts to take her own life. She lost custody of her 3 children. She took heavy sleeping pills, but only can sleep for 2 hours in the night. And a few days after she did this emotional inner work, one night she slept naturally for 8 hours without any medication. And after that, Rachel regained her children and rebuilt her life. So it's possible, even how chronic our situations are. And effortless transformation also happened to people who had profound experience of their soul essence, able to access a deeper state of awareness. Many people naturally change or drop off their old habits, destructive habits, or their limited beliefs. After that, they feel so content and lost desire for alcohol, smoking, to have nightlife. Some can't even swallow meat anymore and naturally became vegetarian, and they have experienced an effortless lifestyle shift. Some people who struggle with overeating often try dieting or controlling their food, but usually fall back into the old patterns. The deeper question is not why do I overeat, but why can't I stop once I start? Overeating usually happens when strong desires, when suddenly strong and overwhelming emotions rise subtly, like feeling deep emptiness, loneliness, or anxiety. Immediately we numb those emotions with comfort food, snacking, alcohol, weed, drug, sex, and so on, because we don't dare to face its heaviness. Sometimes this pattern links to early experiences. For example, a childhood memory of being told they were always fail, they were not good enough, a lot of criticism, and the inner battle started then, and it lasted into adulthood. And our deepest fear is not we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is, according to the research, is that we are powerful beyond measures. It is the light frighten us. It is not our darkness. We doubt ourselves, knowing our not so good qualities. Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, or fabulous? But the real question is actually, who are we not to be? Because we are the child of God. When you are playing small, you don't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened in about shrinking. We are meant to shine, just as children do. We are born to manifest the glory of God within us. What do you do if an intense emotion comes up? Stay still, sit with the emotion, feel it fully, don't judge, allow it to express, just go with the flow, don't run from it, push it away, and most importantly, don't distract yourself or project it on others. Don't run to your fridge to eat something or mindlessly scrolling your phone or chit chat with your friend or watch dramas just to feel good. Stay present and observe what the emotion is trying to tell you. What's beneath the emotion? Unlayer suppressed feelings one by one, like how you peel onion skins layer by layer. If an old memory flashed, ask question, learn lesson, forgive, let go, and surrender into that nothingness. And you will reach the core where peace and love can be experienced. Okay, why this book resonated with me? Initially, I read the book preview and experimented the emotional healing journey to check if it will work for me or not. Only then, after doing the experiment, only then I chose the book and started reading it. Let me share my experience. First, let me tell you about myself. Since childhood, I have been very sensitive and very emotional. I easily pick up others' emotion, and I suffered a lot because I thought those were my emotions. And I criticized myself a lot for not being emotionally stable, to use food to distract myself from feeling those heavy emotions. And at one point in my life, suddenly nothing was working anymore. Failure after failure. My mom's sudden death left me devastated with a lot of guilt. I lost my sense of direction in my career. Nothing seems to succeed. There was no financial freedom, failed relationship, and I felt like a complete failure, both internally and externally. And I was not only started grieving for my mother, but I was grieving for my own self, for my life. And I experienced depression for the past 10 years. And I didn't know I was having depression. I was wondering what's wrong with me, why I couldn't function like before. I felt lost and disconnected. I couldn't and didn't know how to live a normal life like others. Everything pushed me to suicidal thoughts. And when I did this experiment, I just simply sat down, closed my eyes, and I put a strong intent. I want to heal. I want to know what's wrong with me. I'm tired living like this, feeling lost. Please guide me to get to the core of it so that I can be completely free. Then I did my inner introspection. But at the moment I didn't feel any emotions, so I just observed for any pain or discomfort in my body. I noticed heaviness feeling in my lower abdomen. If it's given a voice, what it will say to me. Then I heard, leave me alone. And I could relate with that very well because whenever I feel low or lost, I just wanted to be all alone inside my comforter. I will avoid everything and everyone. And I continued observing what's beneath that heaviness feeling. And I saw many painful memories of the past 25 years. I felt pain, humiliation, hurt very intensely, which I was not aware of its intensity before. I know I was hurt before, but I didn't know I was damaged to this level, from psychological level, from emotional level. And at that moment, My memory stops at my marriage function at the age of 21. It was an arranged marriage, and I felt so much anger at that moment sitting in front of the fire ritual. At the same time, I felt so empowered. I confronted those people who had hurt me, betrayed, caused me so much pain. I felt like my lifetime of pain pouring out. I cried in agony and grief. In real life, actually, I don't know how to cry like that. I've never cried like that. It was so deep and painful. And after that, I forgave them. At the end, I told my mom to pour water on my head. I just follow my intuition, the guidance inside. And my mother did, and I asked her to pour as much as she could on me. After that, I felt light as feather. Then I felt truly grateful. I thank all of them with so much gratitude from bottom of my heart for their willingness to put so much effort for my growth, for my self-realization journey. And then I saw my younger version wearing a beautiful white, light pink, flowery dress with a shawl over my head, sitting and smiling very happily like a child. I rested in that space, feeling so much peace and love. I didn't want to come out of that state. It felt so good. The next day, when I met my sister, she said, "Wow, you're glowing. What did you do?" And I knew then I had let go some heavy baggage inside me. I knew then the inner clearing worked for me. To tell the truth, I was very shocked when I was doing that inner introspection because since I started my journey with Pradeep sir, I had better understanding about life lessons, that everything is life lessons and is nothing personal with other people. So I had forgiven and accepted them. I also in real life made peace with them. So after this experiment only I realized I didn't forgive them from deep of my heart, from the soul level. That's why I still had resentment inside. Previously, I forgave them from thinking mind space. The conclusion is the journey teaches us that self healing is not about becoming someone new, but about removing what blocks our natural self. And Brandon successfully experimented and tested this emotional and physical inner work. She also teaches this self healing to people all around the world. And from my understanding, we shouldn't analyze our emotion. Instead, we witness it, observe it deeply to see what it's trying to teach us, for us to be free from our past emotional baggage. Meditation is different, inner introspection is different. Please do it separately. Meditation is very important, it's a very powerful tool. Meditation is about body still, mind still, and witness, aware of your breath. It's just pure awareness. Meditation benefits are a lot and need to see it regularly. Only then we will be aligned with our true inner self. And with more meditation practices, inner introspections steps will be much easier because we are more aligned with our inner guidance and inner wisdom. Some people, they are intuitively guided to see pain in their body inside, and they got clarity about the lesson, and after that the pain subsides. Inner introspection could be done when you are triggered emotionally or physically, just to check what lesson is this trying to teach me. Finally, my heartfelt thank you first to my higher self for being so adventurous and so creative in designing blueprint of my life like this, and also to all my visible and invisible teachers and masters, especially Pradeep sir, for guiding me to the path of light and truth. Thank you very much. Now let us go to our question and answer session. If anyone got question, you can raise your hand. Hi.
Namaskar, Sharmila ji. Wow, what a session. So, you explained very well. Just a clarification.
Yes.
when this emotion comes up, do we just observe or do we ask ourselves what is behind the emotion?
First, we ask, and then we just witness and observe it.
Ah, okay.
You
Ask
will
and
go, as many people experimented, you will go layer by layer. Like first, if you see anger, then you see what is underneath. You just keep observing, and new emotion will come up. Sometimes resentment, abandonment, and you just go with the flow. Just listen to your inner guidance, and you will get to the core of that. Sometimes memories will come. You just follow your intuition.
okay, okay, got it. Can I ask you one more thing?
Yes,
Yeah, you said like in the day-to-day activity, just go. I'm not using the exact terminology. You said it's like a go, like a without a structure, like a go with the heart, not with the mind, something like that.
yes.
Like, can you please like kind of describe it a little
Okay.
bit?
Okay. What I was trying to tell is that yes, we plan our work. I want to do this today. I want to do this. Okay, we had a plan. But when we are executing it, when we are doing it, we do it with the flow and with that whatever is happening in that moment. We even though we decided to do A first, but if at that time suddenly from our heart space, from the knowing space, we feel like doing B, go with the B. No need to force yourself to follow A because I already planned A first. So this is we doing from the knowing space inside. And we just surrender in that moment without worrying. What if I do B and this will happen, that will happen. So we come out from our thinking mind space to our knowing heart space.
Oh, okay, got it. Very clear. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Shamila. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.